Deep within the Peruvian Andes, where the mountains rise like immense stone guardians and the valleys sink into shadows, there lies a path that few dare to speak of aloud. For centuries, it has been known by a name that chills even the most hardened of travelers: the Road of No Return. It begins as an ordinary trail, winding along the ridges where llamas and mules once carried the weight of silver, food, and cloth. Merchants, pilgrims, and soldiers all traveled here. But somewhere along its length, a change occurs. The air feels heavier. The silence deepens. And beyond that point, those who enter may never emerge. The first recorded stories come from the colonial period. Spanish chroniclers wrote of muleteers who vanished with their caravans, leaving behind only scattered belongings found days later. The bodies were never recovered. Local Quechua villagers spoke of the Apus, mountain spirits, who punished outsiders who disturbed the sacred terrain. To them, the disappearances were not accidents, but divine retribution. By the 18th century, the road had become infamous. Whole families migrating to new settlements were said to vanish along the path. Survivors described strange lights flickering ahead of them. Lanterns, they thought, carried by fellow travelers. But when they followed, the lights led them astray into ravines or dense fog. Some were lucky enough to return. Others were not. There are tales of voices carried on the wind. Men heard their mothers calling. Women heard their children. Against all reason, they left the trail to search for them, only to be swallowed by the night. Those who managed to resist claimed that the voices grew angry, whispering curses in forgotten tongues. One legend tells of a Spanish officer who led 20 soldiers along the route in pursuit of rebels. They never arrived at their destination. Weeks later, peasants found their weapons neatly arranged on the ground, but not a single body remained. The villagers swore they heard the sound of marching feet echoing in the distance long after. Modern times have not erased the fear. In the 20th century, truck drivers reported that their engines failed without explanation along a particular stretch of the road. Radios filled with static, headlights dimmed, and in the darkness, some swore they saw pale figures walking beside their vehicles. A few never restarted their engines. Their trucks were later discovered abandoned, with no sign of the drivers. Geologists point to natural causes. The region is prone to landslides and sudden mists. Ravines open like traps, and those who stray too far risk falling hundreds of feet. Others suggest magnetic anomalies disturb compasses and machines, but for the locals, no scientific answer can erase generations of stories. In one village nearby, an elder recounted the tale of her uncle. He was a strong man, a farmer who laughed at the idea of curses. One night, he decided to take the road alone to reach a distant town. He carried a lantern and a bag of coca leaves. He never returned. Weeks later, shepherds found his lantern still burning, placed carefully on a rock, but no trace of the man himself. Some anthropologists believe these stories reflect the deep connection between the Andean people and their landscape. The mountains are alive, the earth itself sacred. To wander without respect is to invite the wrath of powers older than any empire. The road of no return is not just a path, it is a threshold between worlds. Even today, there are those who claim to hear the whispers when they walk too close. A tourist, hiking with friends, reported that he felt compelled to turn left at a fork in the trail. The voice he heard was his own father's, though his father was thousands of miles away. His friends pulled him back before he could step into the fog. He later admitted he had no memory of moving. The most haunting detail across all testimonies is the silence. Birds fall quiet, winds drop, and the mountains seem to hold their breath. In that void, anything is possible. A slip into another time, another place, or another realm altogether. The government has long discouraged travel through the area. Maps leave it unmarked. Locals warn outsiders never to set foot there after dusk. Yet the stories continue, whispered at markets, told around fires, carried from one generation to the next. Perhaps it is a convergence of dangers, fog, cliffs, exhaustion, that explains the losses. Or perhaps it is something more. A reminder that in these highlands, the line between the living and the unseen remains thin. Tonight, as we leave the Andean Trail behind, The road of no return still stretches across the mountains, waiting. For those who dare to follow it, the path may seem ordinary, but step too far, and the silence will claim you. And once you enter, there may be no way back.